Hey, we're back on the Big Chief, working on the cage. Bought a bunch of metal and I've been working for a few hours. Let me show you what I've come up with so far. All right, so I'm trying to figure out this B pillar, and I got to tie in this B pillar from the body because see, it's shaky, and I wanted it to, have the same angle as the back, like basically like the B pillar of the body's missing. But I had to set this inside to get the strength. So I think what I'm going to do is cap this with sheet metal, or cap this with some plate that ties into the B pillar of the cage. And then I don't know if we'll do like some broke metal or another tube that ties in to get the body shape that I want, but still maintaining the strength of having that B pillar inboard. On the floor mount, I didn't have an outrigger right where the tube's going to go for the rock slider. Basically just span some angle iron in between the outriggers. Try to show you underneath here. So yeah, I got some 3/16 2" by 3" angle iron span between those two. I think it's gonna be strong enough. If I have to, I can put like a gusset here, right where the tube is connected, and that'll give it some torsional strength. Or my dad suggested I could even put another piece of angle iron upside down here, and it'll basically make it square tube. I didn't want to do square tubing because I wouldn't be able to weld all the way around it, and I'd end up with a water pocket. So I think this will be just fine. All right, I'm going to knock out the other side, and then we can start getting our horizontal bars and the triangulation. Hopefully this is enough tubing. Oh, my legs. Another story about never throwing anything away. This piece of metal right here that is now going to be a permanent part of the Jeep. I've been dragging this around for over 10 years. This was the bottom like rail cap for a ladder rack or lumber rack for an old square body I had. And I sold that over 10 years ago, so don't throw anything away. Never know when you might be able to use it. Bought this guy at Ross, of all places. My wife likes to shop, and anytime we're together shopping, I always check the auto section there at the old Ross, because you never know what you might find. Sometimes it's just floor mats. Sometimes get yourself a wire wheel. Now, is this thing safe? I don't know. It does seem to flare out quite a bit, but it'll be all right. Woo. Some of these wires are definitely going to end up in my body somewhere. They're already shooting out. Sweet. Now that that's in, I'm going to cut the crossbar because that's nice and easy. And then out of this stick that we're working with, we'll get that crossbar. And then we're going to try to get this harness bar, the seatbelt bar in, which we'll need to bend around the bend around the seats. So I'm going to figure out what angle of the dangle we need there. Uh-oh. All right, got the front crossbar in, that crossbar in, B-pillar. It's not welded, so it's loose in there. Now I've got this bar laying here. My seatbelt angle is not going to be optimal. I am going to raise this bar up a little bit, but it's still, I don't know, it's kind of low. So, but I don't want to bring it up to optimal height because I think it's going to look stupid. So I'm just going to put it in where it's going to look good. And then if I have to, I'll build some other tabs or something for the seat belts to keep them safe. But anyway, I think a 35-degree angle. I'm going to try to bend that on this one side that has the notch already. And then hopefully I got enough tube. If not, I'll be able to use this as one of the triangulation bars. All right, let's see what we can do here. This is going to take a little bit more tubing to get across. This is an expensive mistake, but it's all right. So I got a new pipe cut, or new tubing cut at 6 foot. This was like 5'6". So 6 more inches, and now I know kind of how much room a bend takes and everything. So I got it laid out where I'm going to put it in the bender, and we're going to go 45 degrees, which is this one, instead of the 35 degrees, which will kick it out around the seat a little faster. So I'm going to try to bend this up and see how it looks. All right, I'm also going to mark the top of the tubing, lined up the same either side. Yeah, that'll work. I just got to figure out how the heck to notch it. All right, I think 55-degree angle is going to work. I know it looks way far back, but by the time I notch it, where this tube runs into this one, it's going to be cut like way back here. Basically 2 inches out. Give me a little bit of space between the bar. And then I didn't really think about this. For my seatbelt angle, I can kick that up a little bit so it doesn't look high where it sticks, onto the B pillar, but can kick it up a little bit so my seatbelt angle is right. Steep learning curve, that's for sure. All right, yesterday I was struggling with that seatbelt bar, and I realized right as I was packing up, it's gonna be a dum-dum. Don't be a dum-dum. I got this beautiful line on the floor. I could lay everything out right here. So that's what I did this morning. Marked out my verticals right under there. You can see a little Sharpie mark. And then I just made the bar parallel to the line. Now I can lay out my marks or my notches easy, and should be able to get this in there. I might cut them straight and just see what it looks like in there, and then I can adjust it with a grinder if I want to angle it up a little bit. I don't know. I think I'm going to have the most success doing it that way. Pretty good, huh? pretty happy with how that turned out. So now working on these angle braces. Oh yeah, this bar is gonna work for behind this seat, so it is not gonna get wasted. Oh, so excited about that. That's awesome. That's gonna work, but I want to finish this section here at the B pillar. So I'm gonna try to do 45 bend to get off the back of the head and go to the middle there. So hopefully I gave myself enough tube, but got it lined up I think where it's supposed to be. The mark is like 3.5 inches from the center of the bend on a 45-50 degree angle. So got it lined up there, I think with enough tubing to give myself a notch, and I think with enough tubing to make it to the center of the bar, but we'll see. All right, this tubing notcher, it's really hard to do angles on. It only pivots one way, you know, so hopefully I got this timed right, and then I'm gonna have to rechuck with that thing flipped down somehow to cut the other notch. Whew. Some of this might be easier with an angle grinder. We'll see. All right, I missed that by a little bit. All right, got to get one more 45 degree cut from this direction right here. I'll just have to draw that out and do it with the angle grinder. All right, I was way off on that, and so I broke down. I'm buying tubing, like notch coping tool, or like contour tool. So I just bought it. Should be here in a few days. I'm gonna work on some stuff that's not, you know, 4 pipes into one, because mistakes are expensive when you're using DOM. So I'm gonna work on this back seatbelt bar, because I know how to lay that out and get that accurate. So we'll get that going, and then I don't know, we'll see where the day goes. Let's start with this. All right, yesterday I spent all day working on the cage. It's looking pretty good. Didn't film any of it because honestly I'm just trying to learn what the heck I'm doing here. But I got a new tool I want to show you, and it is really helping out. All right, this guy right here, picked it up from 911 Motorsports, 911 Motorsports. It's like it's a notch gauge, basically. You can get them in different sizes. I obviously got 1 3/4, and it has allowed me to kind of figure out these joints. So you just kind of jam that sucker in there. I've got one more to do here. So I'll show you kind of my process now that I've kind of figured it out. But basically I'm gonna get my pipe bent, my tube bent. I got it in the bender already where I want it, and it'll be a little bit long. I'll slide this over the pipe and jam it in that corner, and then I can trace it on there with a paint pen, and then I notch it with a skinny wheel, and then it's not perfect, and you have to just keep kind of whittling away until you get it where you want it. So let's get this pipe bent, and yeah, coming along. Really liking it. We're using these little lapel mics now, and I think it's really helping with the audio. It is very windy outside today though, and it is shaking the door like crazy, so hopefully it's all good. If not, you'll get some music. Tighten that sucker down. No. Oh, that's good. Okay. All right. So I think my goal today is to get this C-pillar section done, and then there should be time to get the A-pillar section done, because those ones are super simple. Just basic notches. C-pillar section after this tube. Got to do the frame mount, so that might take a little time. I got some body hacking to do. Hopefully you did that right. I think so. Yep. A little long to. Okay. All right, the first side's a little bit more trial and error, and I'm not good enough to really tell you my process. I just kind of keep fitting it until it looks like I want it to look. The second side, a little bit easier because after I get the notch contour with the gauge, then I just kind of measure from a certain point on this side to the bend and just make it match. All right, so basically I measured from a certain part of the notch on this other side. I just picked a notch that was convenient, measured to the corner, to the center of the bend, and that was 6 3/4 inches. So I measured from center bend, 6 3/4, made that mark. That's where I'm going to line up this notch, basically. And then I also drew the center line of my tool here across the top of the tube. That way when I slide this gauge down, I can keep it in the right orientation. Now it's not going to be perfect because this tube is long, but basically you put it there in the corner and you push all these needles up into the corner of the where you're trying to notch here, and then should be able to slide that sucker down. It's in the right orientation, and I'm basically just going to trace that gauge all the way around with my paint pen and then hack at it. All right, there's a little better view of it. So just trace that sucker all the way around there. And now I just got to take a bunch of little cuts with the skinny wheel and retest fit it. Yeah, so I just got a little bit to grind out there, and it's going to be about perfect. All right, that's where we're at. Got that one in. Looks good. I've been having some intermittent issues with the welder, and I figured it out. So it's like the wire feed just go, like kind of, it's like not steady, and it's usually towards the end of my roll. Found out what it is. This sticker here is sticking to this, so I need to find a way to either easily remove the sticker or get like a wax paper in between it or something. Maybe they make something, I don't know, but to keep that from sticking, because it's pretty annoying. And but anyway, I sprayed some WD-40 in there with the roll off, and that really helped. Now it's welding smooth. So all right, where we're at now, I'm gonna pull this back seat out because this seat's leaned back where it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be more like that. But there's room for this bar to go perpendicular straight down there. So I'm going to get the seat out so I can cut cut this a little more accurately. I want to make a nice clean cut at the back of this fender well, or the front of the fender well rather, and find out right where the frame is here and cut myself a little access. And I think we'll just do like a little piece of angle iron upside down on the frame, and that should be a good frame tie-in. Yeah, that's right. My back seat rest self-tapered into the floor. Whew! I welded that. Now I've lost the paint pen. Uh-oh. Shredded that one. Yeah, baby. All right, got the fenders all hacked out. Got the little pieces of angle iron cut, and I just tacked them in. I do want to bolt these down, and so that's why I just did a little tacks. I'll cut the tacks later after I can drill it. But I don't want to go through the effort of finding hardware right now, so that's what we're going to do. Now this part should be the gravy train, so just got to go figure out the angle of the dangle right there. Figure out that's just going to be an angle cut. We got a notch cut up here. Then we'll go from there up to the center, another bar. Then the C-pillar section is going to be all done. That'll be sweet. Hopefully we'll have time to bust out the A-pillar stuff. Again, gravy train. Okay. I want that all the way to the outside. Should be like that. All right, how I do this, just take my sliding T-bevel, put it on the edge of my bench, make a mark, and then measure it with my speed square. So we're looking at 31 degrees. All right, that's pretty good. I just gotta figure out the notch for this bar so that can go forward where it's supposed to go. But I like that. Yeah, I like it. I think it's gonna be good. I think, honestly, if I do a bar back here to the frame, I don't need one vertical too, but if I go like that, then I can sheet that, and that can be my bedside basically. Kind of finally seal it off. And then I just got to figure out how to connect that in a way that makes sense. Maybe even just hack this off at an angle and sheet to it. Yeah. Yep, I'm pretty happy with that. This thing is really coming together. Sweet. So, and I think with bar going up to there, it's going to be plenty strong. I might even eventually run a bar from here down to there or something, as long as it's not too hard to get in. I don't know. What do you guys think? That'll be not this time around, or maybe even this stage of the build, but like, will that force be okay with this triangulation? I hope so. I think so. If I gusset it, some gussets here and here. All right, got the other side in, and it looks really good. I really like the shape that's happening here. Now I'm trying to figure out these other crossbars. Just got my 4-foot level clamp there, and I use the sliding T-bevel to measure those angles. So now should be able to cut up my tubing, notch it, and dang, this thing's looking cool. All right, it is looking good. I think that's gonna be plenty strong after seeing it. Yeah, and I can add some gussets, but so, all right, I'm just gonna try to match it on the other side. I've got about an hour left that I can work today, so I'm just gonna try to bust through some things. It's all the same thing. Measure, cut, notch. Measure, cut, notch. Get that side in, and then I'll bust out the front. Hopefully got enough tube for that. It's gonna be close, but anyway, really liking how this is coming together. Well, this thing is really turning out awesome. I am liking every bit of it. Got the A-pillar section all figured out. Got the little upside down V in the middle. Still got some triangulation in the roof section to do and some gusseting, stuff like that, but it's really coming together. So if you're serious about wheeling, you should build yourself a cage. It's a lot of fun. Like I said in the last video, you gotta kind of financially prepare for it because DOM is expensive, but it's what you wanna use to do it right. The affordable bender has been awesome. The more I use it, the easier it gets. Tubing notcher's been awesome. And that little contour gauge from 911 Motorsports, game changer for sure. So anyway, thank you so much for watching. We got merch, link down in the description, and be sure to pick yourself up some t-shirts, a hat or whatever. Helps out the channel. And yeah, what do you guys think about the Big Chief? Leave it in the comments below. Thanks for watching. Wheel it, wreck it, wrench it, repeat. See you next time.